What's up guys, welcome back. It's hard to believe it, but it's football season already, and that means you need some good game day eats, and I've got you covered. Today I'm gonna show you how to make these delicious Philly cheesesteak loaded French fries. But before we get into the recipe, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right guys, for this recipe we need some russet potatoes. If you wanna cheat a little bit, you can get the frozen fries from your grocery store, but I'm gonna show you guys how to make perfect French fries right from the comfort of your own home. I like to cut the ends off just to give me a flat surface to work with. That way everything is nice and even. That is optional though. Once we have it evened out on the ends, we're gonna take our potato peeler and then peel the potatoes. We also wanna clean them up. We'll cut them into French fries and soak them in some ice water for at least an hour. All right, so now we're just gonna cut these into our desired size fries, which for me is not quite a shoestring, but kind of thin. So we're gonna square them off like you see here. Then once you have a nice square surface to work with, that's not quite a square for my geometry measures, but work with me here. We're to cut them into our desired size, which right there is what I'm looking for our French fries. Let's repeat that process for all of your potatoes, and then we're gonna wash them off and get them in some ice water to soak, which is gonna help them get nice and crispy when we go to fry them up. So once you got your fries chopped up, we're gonna get them nice and clean. Clean them off here, rinse them a few times, then we'll get them in some ice water, let them soak. That's gonna remove some of the starch, help them get nice and crispy when we do our double fry method. So I'm gonna run this under the water for 3 or 4 passes till the water starts to run clean. And then we'll get some ice in here and let them soak. You can even do this overnight, put them in some ice water in the refrigerator, let that soak overnight as well. All right, so I know we call this a Philly cheesesteak loaded French fries in the beginning. That was mostly to piss off the people from Philly. That way they get active in the comments, get a little engagement going. All jokes aside, guys, we're taking a little bit of a shortcut here with the pre-shaved ribeye. You can shave your own steak if you want to, or if you want to go even easier, you can get the steakums. But today we're using these, which is somewhere right in the middle. We also have red and green bell pepper for some color contrast and some onion that we diced up. All right, guys, so at this point, we're gonna make our cheese whiz, or the less processed version of cheese whiz. We're gonna melt 2 tablespoons of butter. To that, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, effectively making a roux, which is gonna be the thickening agent for this cheese sauce. We're gonna turn our heat down to low and just kind of work in that flour. Then we're coming with about 2 cups of heavy cream, or half and half. And we're gonna bring that up to a boil. You'll notice it'll start to thicken up a bit. Now while we wait for that to come up to a simmer, we're going in with 2 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. That's gonna help with the consistency. Quick reminder guys, that all the specific measurements and ingredients for this recipe can be found in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out. All right, so once you reach a simmer, you'll notice that the sauce will start to thicken a bit, especially as the cream cheese continues to melt. Now we're gonna add some seasoning. I like to go in with 1 packet of sazon, mostly because it has a little bit of turmeric in it, which is gonna give it that nice bright color that we're used to. So we're gonna add that in there, along with a little all-purpose seasoning just to cover our bases. We're gonna give that a mix, and then we're gonna decrease the temperature down to low and start to melt our cheddar cheese. Now you can use whatever cheese you like, preferably a yellow cheese, just to keep with the theme here, because we're making a cheese whiz at home. We want the colors to match. So cheddar, sharp, mild, whatever floats your boat. But first we want this to kind of thin out a little bit and get the seasoning worked in there. We got a beautiful color already. It's only gonna deepen as we add that cheese. One thing's for sure, this is gonna taste a hell of a lot better than cheese whiz, that's for sure. All right, so next up is the ribeye and the veggies. We're gonna add a couple tablespoons of avocado oil to our cast iron skillet. Let that get nice and warm, and then we're going in with our shaved ribeye. Now in goes the shaved ribeye. Kind of break it up with my hands a little bit, just to help myself later. Try to get as much of the steak making surface area contact with the skillet as possible. That way you get some nice color and crust. Keeping the seasoning super simple today. Just a little all-purpose. If you haven't tried that yet, grab it via the link in my description box. Just kind of start breaking it up with your spatula. A little worst word in the world sauce for good measure. We're gonna repeat this process for both packs of our shaved ribeyes, about 24 ounces in total. Now once your ribeye is cooked, we'll go ahead and remove it, cook the other batch, and then we'll cook our veggies. Next up, it's time for the veggies. We got onions and bell pepper going in. And we're just gonna saute these down until they get nice and tender. Same seasoning as before, a little AP, a little worst word in the world sauce. We'll make sure the French fries are extra seasoned. We got that delicious flavorful cheese sauce that we made. And you guys are gonna have something special for game day. After your fries soak for about an hour in the cold water, it's important to make sure you dry them off a little bit before you go throwing them in some hot oil. So a couple paper towels, get the job done, spread them out, put some paper towels over the top. All right guys, so you want to do the double fry method to ensure they get nice and crispy. Best way to do that is with a digital food thermometer. We're looking for about 300 to 325. Once we get there, which we're there now, we're gonna go ahead and drop our fries for their first initial fry. We're just gonna begin to cook them a little bit, and then we'll crisp them up on the next fry, which will be at about 400 degrees. All right guys, so the technique here, we're gonna initially fry them at a lower temperature to begin cooking them internally. Then we're gonna remove them after about 6 minutes at 300 to 325, increase the temperature to 400 degrees, and then fry them in smaller batches to ensure they get nice and crispy. All right, my friends, it's been 6 minutes. Our French fries are not brown, which is exactly what you want to see at this point. We're gonna drain off any excess oil, get the oil up to 400 degrees, and then we're gonna fry them in batches yet again to get them nice and crispy. All right guys, I'm showing you my top secret, if I show you gotta kill you, French fries seasoning. We're starting with mostly my all-purpose seasoning. Then we're gonna add some Old Bay to the party. You guys gotta trust me on this one. About a teaspoon of that, half teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder, and a half teaspoon of white sugar. Give that a mix, and you got the best tasting French fry seasoning on the planet. All right, so once the oil hits 400 degrees, we're gonna go ahead and fry these up in batches. That way we don't overcrowd and decrease the temperature too badly. About 3 to 4 minutes or until they're golden brown and crispy. All right, so this is where we're looking a couple minutes in. You can hear how crispy they are. They look nice and crispy. We'll give them another minute or so just to be sure. But look at that, guys. We got some fantastic homemade fries on our hands. They only will get better. All right, we got some floaters. They're golden brown, beautiful and crispy. Now we're gonna go ahead and put them on this wire rack to drain. Get our oil back up to 400 and drop the second batch. Got some crispy fries. All right guys, we got our crispy seasoned fries here. We got an oven preheated to 400. We got some leftover cheddar. So we'll throw that on there because why the hell not? We're here for a good time, not a long time. Get some melted cheese to go along with our cheese sauce. Can't call it loaded without that, right? So into the oven for just a couple minutes. So far, so good, my friends. The party's about to heat up even more with this amazing cheese sauce that we made. I can't even call this cheese whiz, guys. This is a fantastic cheese sauce. Just gonna go down with a little bit or a lot of it, it's your house. We went ahead and mixed our shaved steak with the peppers and the onions, so we're gonna go ahead and spread that out right over the middle as well. Get some nice even coverage going. Next, we're coming back with a little bit more of that cheese right over the middle. way the good Lord intended. And then a little non-traditional element to the cheesesteak. I got a little sour cream, which doesn't go great on cheesesteaks, but it goes great on loaded fries. So here we are. And then last but not least, a little diced parsley garnish. This is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do, my friends, is dig in here for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, my friends, time for the moment of truth. Gotta grab a fork for this.